Are you just talking to yourself?
And they coming in, talking to myself, playing hide
Oh
and seek with me.
man, you must be
And
Are you just talking to yourself? In a state of insanity
they
then.
coming in, talking to
I'm
myself,
always in a state of
playing hide
Oh
and
insanity.
seek with me.
man,
And I
you
feel
must
as
be
though
Are you just
they
talking to
probably
yourself?
on
In a state
this
of
digital
insanity
makeup
And they
then.
coming
option.
in,
They
talking
took
to
it off
myself,
Always in a state
Instagram.
of
playing
insanity.
hide and
Oh
seek with me.
man. So I guess you get to see the real me.
I got my digital makeup on. Y'all see me with my real glasses. that means matter of fact, there's a reflection going on in my glasses. So should I take them off? I should look like I'm doing a press conference. Like today's subject is say hi to our people, Kat. Tell them what
Oh,
we're
it's
about.
back. Hey
It's back.
everybody, welcome back to the Cat and Shock Show. Good to see you guys again. Just you guys know the beat and the drill by now. And if you're new, we always fundraise for the American Heart Association. Keith, I'll say it for you this time. I'm so sorry to hear about your heart attack last year. So I know everybody's in a tough situation during these times, but anything that you guys can do, your presence is a big present to us already. But if you can donate in any way, that would be very helpful as we like to support the cause. So welcome to
And
the
and
Cat and
and
Shock Show.
yes, and for some of us that are on Twitch, we're on Twitch. My name DJ Pinnacle. What's up? And if you're on Twitch, welcome. If it's your first time checking us out on Twitch, technician, super DJ, technician Raven Dave is running the technical work. I don't have to do that today. I can just
And
sit here.
we're live on Facebook and I believe YouTube as well. So if
Oh
you're
right,
catching us
yes,
here, you're
yes.
catching us everywhere. So today we would like to thank you all for being here and joining us again. But I like to dig deeper. And Keith and I think we're pretty straightforward. We're both Capricorns.
Yes. And thank you for the
Virtual high
donation.
fives.
There's a donation, high five donation. Thank you for the donation,
Thank you
y'all.
guys.
Yes.
There's something, Keith, that I've noticed that I think a lot of people are really kind of intimate to talk about. So I'd like to open up the floor in a conversation between us like we always have. And everybody in the room, feel free to chime in because this is a safe space. It's an open space, but it will go online. But your comments won't.
I gotta. Oh, I know.
It'll just
Hold
stay
on.
here.
I gotta say what's up to my homie, longtime friend Kim Jackson, who actually signed all of us to BMI back in the days when we first started in the industry. Kim,
Oh, wow.
she was instrumental in putting us in all. Everybody had to go to Kim. Go to Kim. She took care of everything. What's up, Kim? Glad you come through. All right.
Awesome. Cool. So, today we're discussing anger, fear, and scared. And I feel that, we all have a sense of that right now with what everybody is going through. So just to top line our conversation, like from the dictionary, let's
Yes.
define what the dictionary basically says what it is. So anger is a strong feeling of annoyance, displeasure, or hostility. That's anger. Fear, it's an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. And now being scared, or the word scare, is cause great fear of nervousness or frightened. So being frightened, being scared, right? And we use those words in different, measures and how we talk about everybody's situations here.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of things going off, and Keith, that's going on. I'd like to ask you some questions and kind of really open the floor to see what everybody else in the room does think about these situations and show some vulnerability here because we're all,
Some openness, people, if y'all going to share about this, because right now we're where we at in the fourth month, this month 4 of being locked down.
March, April, June, July. It feels like longer than that.
Yeah, it feels like longer than that.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about different things. And now this is our becoming our new normal, because
Yeah.
we're gonna have to go through if our summertime mainly back in lockdown, caused everything, the COVID, whether people believe it or not, it has happened. If some of y'all that don't believe it, ask D.L. Hughley, who you know was a great comedian, who's a very big activist and just in Black people's lives and just in things. He's a big activist on what he believes in. He came down with COVID-19. So we're getting into fear now. So now
Yeah.
I think we're getting into fear, like you said, fear,
Anger
anger,
and
and
scared.
scared.
Yeah, so I found a really great quote, and I like to live by this quote too, and it kind of rang true and in different situations. And every time that me and you go live, I
Mhm.
start my day off with yoga and try to see things from a different perspective. So this was very insightful for me as I was in a very uncomfortable place with my like asana physical practice today. It was really hard for me to like put myself there and almost felt like I was fearful, scared, and angry that like I just wouldn't get through it. And then this quote just kind of really just brought it back to reality, and defining fear and everything else and what we're about to talk about. So um, I'd like to read you something. Fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts and in our future. It's a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not present or may never not exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me, though. Danger is really real. It's very real, but fear is a choice. So that was kind of very insightful. So we're gonna kind of dive in here and talk about fear, scare, danger, all of those angry things and words and things that we all like not to use. So I'm gonna let the questions roll into you, Keith. Trump is potentially going to be in office for a second term. Are you fearful, scared, angry?
Um, uh,
Why? Anybody else? Drop your
I'm
comments below.
yes. Anybody would chime in, holler. We'll try to get to reading all of them. Me personally, I'm not fearful. Um, I understand. I've came to grips to his situation over the time. I keep saying to everybody, I made a bet that he probably going to win again, win again, because there's a lot of other factors that he can do as a president that can happen. Am I scared? I can say my feelings of being scared of they kick in the more because it's the uncertainty of what is going to happen. Before this, we kind of can predict next month we're gonna have this party, we're gonna do this. You can plan your days. You really can't plan your days now. We're actually living day to day. We can plan some things, but if you're not online savvy or tech savvy, or some of us do, and this thing has gone back to work, but what does that mean for your future within like a
Yeah.
year from now?
And
You know what
I'd
I'm
like
saying?
to add on to that with another quote drop here. Thinking will not overcome fear, but action will.
Yeah.
And right on to the next question. So, there's predictions Trump may win, there's predictions he may not. Really getting into these battlegrounds, so to say, of this cultural landscape, the political landscape, just even the mental landscape of overall how we all feel about this. So, when it comes to women's rights, we've seen that a lot of that may be taken away of what women have fought for. And personally, this is where, maybe my fear or actually scared whether some of those rights for birth control will go away or not. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, that doesn't matter. Every woman does have the ability to choose to have birth control available. And that's something that may be taken away from and not being able to afford as we go through an economical change by women. And it's going to be a decision by the workplace, a moral, ethically. So, for instance, if your employer is morally against birth control, you will not be provided birth control with your health insurance through your employer. Fearful, scared, or angry?
I think
Because
I
that
think
angers me
I
and scares me.
yeah. Well, it's going to, as a woman, it should anger. Even as a man, it should anger them too.
I guess
It
condom sales will go up. That's a positive.
that's a well. Then
But those are expensive.
we all need to get into the condom business. But it's going to anger because you're taking away parts of which is what I'm understanding is would be part of healthcare that Obama had put in. I mean, these are the things that you know, that we face the challenge, man. I think we're in a bunch of challenges that and thanks for the donation, Lily. We're in a bunch of challenges that we've been used to, and now you might see a lot of stuff just taken away. And then when you get to that point that is getting taken away, you're like, what to do? One of the biggest things I think is a huge problem. Like, what do you do with your kids now when you got to go back to school? Some kids go back to school next month.
Yeah.
Up here, most of us in the East Coast, we go back to school in September. You have the government is forcing the states to open the schools back up.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
That was one of my questions for you. So,
yeah,
are you fearful, scared, or angry about that? And how do you guys feel? Putting a kid back into school during COVID, what the
crazy?
space looks like.
You know, it's crazy because
What's up?
I have a 13-year-old and not 13. I can't tell whether she's growing up or getting younger the way she is.
Always
she's
getting
15.
younger.
She's 15, and they have to go back to school. But the problem is, as this pandemic or this COVID keeps rising, what do you do? I mean, what are you going to do with your kid when you're fearful of them getting it? You're angry that they're sending you back. They'll probably make you go back to school, and then you're scared what can happen during the long run. And
Right.
and right now people's are living all three aspects, and if you're saying that you're not living all three aspects, or if you say you ain't living none of the aspects, you're bananas. So
Absolutely.
with that situation happening, how do you figure that? There's problems that's happening that we're not even solving. We're just get back to work because part of going back to school is money. They need money. Then going to school.
And I'm going to cut you off here, but I'm going to drop some quotes that I want to really kind of debunk because I think during these times, a lot of people have I personally have been able to reflect a lot, and I reflect a lot through, my spirituality, and people use their spirituality to kind of reflect and use that as a tool to overcome our fears and things like that. And I'm reading a quote that says, "Fear kills more dreams than failure ever will." And that's kind of really conflicting, especially during these times, these great quotes times become irrelevant. Feel the fear and do it anyways.
Well, a lot of things.
But that's that
lot
can
of
be
things are becoming
positive as
irrelevant.
well.
There's a lot of things. See, now that's what I'm saying. We're in a whole different change now. Relevant during these times. Yes, fear is a what do you say? Fear is a what was the quote again? I kind of
So
lost it.
fear kills more dreams than failure ever will.
It does. That's true.
Absolutely.
In a different circumstance.
Yeah.
Now we're not in that
Contextually.
circumstance.
Mhm.
We're not in that circumstance no more. Now fear actually is actual fear. We're fearful like how long are you going to have your job? Or how long can you hold on to what you have left without any new jobs opening up? Or
I think
going
that's
back to work.
scary,
You're
right?
fearful of what can. It's kind of like all that. Those three words that we put together.
Angry, because then like anger definition is of anger is like a strong feeling of annoyance,
Yeah, but you can't do that no
displeasure, and
more. But what I'm
hostility.
saying is, yeah, but what I'm saying to
Yeah,
you is, you can't do that. We can't put words together like that anymore. All of
I
that's
know.
happening at once. We
Hmm.
never had that at once.
Yeah,
Not as a total country or total human being or even as a total world. You're having that all at once. One thing
yep.
I'm fearful like if I go over there, I might get my ass beat. That's good. That could be
Scary.
now, and then
Yeah.
you're scared of what's going to happen if you get too close to somebody. If you try to help somebody who's getting their ass beat, then because they don't know if you have. So we have everything happening at once. So I knew norm has changed. So now
Absolutely.
you got to figure out what to do now. I've always said in this time, the people that come up with solutions are the ones that we need more so than people that hung on. So what I mean by solution is I got to go back to the school situation because that's a big thing. I can't deal with too much what everybody individual deals with. We got our kids; they got to go back to school at some point.
Absolutely. Education's important.
It's important. What do we do at this point? They're just saying go back to school. There's no plan. There's no way to keep people safe. You got teachers that are scared to go back because some teachers are taking care of their parents. Some kids got parents that have preconditioned. You have a lot of that going on. And I think right now, a bigger challenge right now, besides people trying to find work too, while you trying to find work, and if you do get work, what are you going to do with your kids? What are you going to do?
You got to drop them off at school, I guess. Or they got to figure out how to be an adult. So maybe the kids have to grow up fast. No, you can't.
No. But we can't do that.
I grew up fast, so.
But we can't do that anymore. You can't figure out how to be an adult.
Mm-hmm.
There's no plan for that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to people is, what's the plan that we need to put into effect to figure out what we're going to do in these situations other than as what your government is trying to force everybody to do, go back to school because somebody's generating money by kids going back to school.
Oh yeah.
And so if there's no problem solvers, man, we have an issue. Now that's
I think overall we have an issue with like poor leadership and people in positions.
We already understand.
Exactly.
We already understand that. We've been on poor leadership since 2016. We knew we had poor leadership then.
Yeah.
So we can't keep always saying, and I know we're dealing with fear and scare and anger. We got to solve problems.
Absolutely. And I feel that is, whenever people feel scared, angry, that fear moment. Personally, there's a universal concept of that happening, and I just feel it energetically. But there's absolutely, you're correct, right?
But
solutions to that.
But let me talk about things of solutions that you have, because we're going to have those all three going on for a minute. So sometimes when people are scared or fearful of things, they usually find solutions.
Fight or flight.
Yes. So now
or
the
fight or
situation
flight.
is, well, you fight or flight. So
Hmm.
we at the situation where I think we're at the fight situation.
Oh, I got a good one for you. Tell me your opinion on this. I was told by somebody to be careful on how I fight for justice. To be careful, no, on not how I fight for justice, in fighting for justice. Be careful in fighting for justice. What are your thoughts on that?
How can you be careful in fighting for justice? If that person told you that, we need to move them to the side. Like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. Get
I was
out of the way.
like, are you offended by me posting Black Lives Matter?
Hey, this is my girl Natasha. Hey, Natasha, this is my man.
Like,
What's up,
does
man?
that offend
Yeah.
you? And then
What?
that brings me to like my next question, like, white people, what the fuck? Are
A
they
white person told you
scared
that?
all of a sudden? No. Because that
Listen,
kind of just rolls in like, be careful how I fight for justice. Well, okay. What am I supposed to be really careful about? I don't understand. Non-compute, 404 error, like just straight up. I'm just like,
well, I think that
but then
person,
it's like the
I think that
white
person,
folks are like scared for their rights all of a sudden.
yeah.
And
They can be
baffles me.
because what happens is they're in a whole different situation now to the point where you're dealing some white Americans don't want to give up the way that they used to have been living. Now
Yeah.
they got to give that up all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yes,
it was really hard for me to understand at first because I'm a first generation immigrant. So immigration rights are changing and things like that. And now I'm just like, well, I'm a white American, so well, I gotta fight the fight too. It's my responsibility. And on top of that, human. I'm human.
The other part,
So like, don't tell me because I'm an immigrant that this isn't my fight. And then that's actually your fear coming out and saying, not yours, but that person's fear coming out and saying, being scared that, I don't know, maybe immigration or their rights being taken away. And that's just silly. It's just silly.
well,
But
you got to understand, you come from a different.
I come from a
No.
different planet.
Yeah, you can say that if you want to, but you come from a different place being an immigrant. You come from Russia, which is a whole different way of living than what people over here have. So with that in mind, you have when somebody over here says, be careful of what you fight for, they thing about Americans that you guys don't have when you're in Russia is we have a cushy life. And everybody, no matter how bad we have it as black people, I've been to places that it ain't that bad. I've been to places where it's ridiculous.
I don't want to get all Russian on you, but this may be a different conversation. It's not me actually getting Russian on you, but the thing is what happens in Russia is painted by the media of American television. And if you guys have ever been to Russia, it's completely different. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's so cold there all the time. You guys are communists and you all drink vodka. There's all these stereotypes surrounding Russian people and any other immigrant country, as much as stereotypes surrounding Black people. So that's just like a whole nother topic, but.
Well, that's a whole nother topic, but I wasn't doing the stereotypical thing. I was doing the difference of.
No, I'm just saying there's comfy lives in Russia.
No, we're comfier.
But that's a fact, yes. Yeah, absolutely.
We are
right?
comfier than anybody else on this planet.
I can vouch.
where I'm at.
Yeah.
So we have things that we can do freely that a lot of places can't do. So you get now those things are being taken away. So those when I speak on that, that's where I'm at with that. Um, so now what do Americans? Because when people say like you shouldn't, when they gave you that quote, that's because they don't want to. They're like, we've never had war on our turf. They can talk about that Civil War crap. That's not war. Let's talk about World War II. Let's talk about the Vietnam War. Let's talk about the Korean War. Let's talk about those kind of war. That's on other soil other than America. This is the closest thing we had. Protests is the closest thing. So you ask real soldiers, our real service people, what it's like. We don't have to deal with that. We don't have to deal with bombs going off constantly. So if you talk to people, I've talked to some of my people from Iraq and Lebanon and stuff like that. I got friends all over because of this music shit. And you got to hear their stories. So what we have now is, yes, we're feared because we're in a whole different zone of nobody knows where most people don't know where their next check is coming from. And let's be face it, if you have a small business, they keep shutting you down because we got a pandemic, keeps rising. It opens up and then it rises. How many people can keep up with this? How many people are going to stay afloat with this? How long can the government keep supplying stimulus money for people? How long?
Yeah.
How long? It's like, this is the 4th month. We ain't even through the summer. We haven't even got to the election yet. So now you got fear coming in, and then you got scared. Because right now, if you got money in your pocket right now, you good. You ain't got money in your pocket next month, you're bananas.
I got another one for you. I want to hear your feedback on this quote. The reality of fear. You're not scared of the dark. You're scared of what's in it. You're not scared of heights. You're afraid of falling. You're not afraid of the people around you. You're afraid of rejection. You're not afraid of love. You're afraid of being loved back. You're not afraid to let go. You're just afraid that he's really gone, or she. You're not afraid to try again. You're just afraid of getting hurt for the same reason. Thoughts?
I'm afraid of motherfucking heights. I realized that about 3 years ago, 4 years ago. I'm afraid of heights. So that's cool. That's me. I mean, a lot of it is, but it's how do you deal with that? You're gonna have to deal with those things. I have to deal with being afraid of heights. Like I won't sit out there and do some things what most people do, like those little planks and the drop is. I said, yo, that's cool.
Sometimes it's really cool.
Sometimes I might want an adrenaline rush.
Not for me. What about skydiving?
I ain't trying to do that.
Yeah, I'm not trying to jump out of a plane anytime soon.
Try to go skydiving. You get kicked out of that plane, and hey, flight time is very.
No, they just like push you out.
So I'm in a point where I'm scared a lot, and I ain't afraid to say that I'm scared a lot of what's going to happen and what's going to happen in the future, because I think this is the first time everybody is on this planet that don't know what's going to go down in the next month, with their business, with their lives. Some people have health conditions. I'm afraid to get COVID because my precondition. And I'm like, I want to go out. If I'm going to go out, I would like to go out making a point and making a reason, not going out because my respiratory system is failing because my heart can't take the strain of this. I don't, so I'm afraid to catch that. So those things and that's part of my fear. That happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's not how I envision. That's not how I envision my life to end up like. But it's here. But we have to deal with it. And being afraid, I think being afraid, having fear right now is all it's what you it's okay to have those. The problem is when we don't talk or talk out what's bothering you. Y'all come on this show, when I'm kicking it, this shit that's going on in my motherfucking head, that's bananas. I used to go for therapy, man. Then during my addiction years, you know, because I was all over the place, you know. So I have to talk, man, and talk things out so I can get my head together. And I understand by not talking and not even confronting your fears, what you're scared of, and how to deal with this, go away. Like, you know, the people in the White House think just like, well, the saddest part to say, like, if people stop testing, the COVID will go down. Yeah, it'll go down because you won't have the numbers of how many people have it, just on numbers. But it's still going there. It's still rising. And you have to understand, it ain't going, you can't do stupid, I'm fun cursing. You can't do stupid shit like that. Don't check it out. Don't test. I understand men have a problem with getting tested for health reasons. That's a problem because when you find out you got prostate cancer, it's too late when you should have did that check. Like, you know, even women, you didn't check your breast with everything. If you didn't do that like maybe a couple of years ago, maybe you wouldn't have had, you know, maybe you'd have probably understood how to act fast or stuff like that. I'm not saying
absolutely.
It's a cure. I'm not saying it's a cure or nothing like that, but at least it's scary to know if you have something.
Yeah, and I think people have a lot of fears, you know, embedded that are not real of just going to the doctor. Absolutely.
So,
and I just recently dealt with.
Yeah, so if you had that fear, imagine now with this fear we having with
Oh,
this,
absolutely. And there's
with this.
proven numbers.
We don't even know. So here's a fear that fucks with me. Okay, we run out of money of giving people stimulus. Okay, you know the dollar has a value. You just can't keep printing up money. You just can't keep printing up money because we have a printing factory.
I don't know. I got a pretty good printer.
But you can. But what y'all know the deal. Yeah. You drop the value of the dollar.
Yep.
So now the dollar becomes worthless because you done printed up so much money. It's too much in circulation, so it has no meaning anymore.
I have a question. How many gold bars you got back there?
I got some fake ass gold records. They painted, they platinum painted and gold. That shit is worth nothing.
I think we should start like being coin collectors.
I'm
gonna go gold mining.
That's kicking in when people's certain things has happened. Some of us do have jobs. A lot of us have lost jobs. People is trying to figure out where they're going to hold on to their homes. You know, yes, some people got money stashed away. A lot of people, I'm going to say a lot of people don't. Like, when is the government going to be like, yo, we can't afford to keep giving everybody a stimulus pack every month or every week? We can't afford it. With that's going to happen soon. So we don't think about those things, and that's scary to me because it's going to happen. There's too many people unemployed, and it's unemployed where there's no jobs. Look, we can't have sporting events, right? That's a good portion of people having work. The arenas, you employ people. Our local restaurants, that employs people. We can't have that anymore. Y'all got to really think about this.
And when you talk about printing money and everything, one of my friends posted a picture that she took, and it was a sign. She was doing her laundry. They said, we have now switched to Apple Pay and all of that because we ran out of quarters. Like we don't have there's no more change. I was
Um,
like, what? There's no quarters?
there's no quarters.
No
So everything's
quarters.
Apple Pay. I'm cool. So now we get into, but see, that's a whole nother zone of dealing with.
Absolutely.
That's a whole nother zone of dealing with money and why we have. It's kind of funny how cryptocurrency and all of those, bitcoins, it's about to become popular now.
You got a Coinbase account? Because I
And
do.
that's about to become popular. So we can get into cashless societies and all that. It's a whole nother world I want to get into. But the initial stuff was, our stuff was fear, anger, and being scared.
So let's close out soon. I want to hear your top five. I'm going to tell you my top five things I'm either scared, fearful of, or angry about. What are your top five?
My top five is I'm angry about how a part of our government just thinks this is a joke, and the things that come out of their mouths. I'm scared about my kid and the young ones coming up. What are they going to be left with? I'm angry about people that just see shit in their face and refuse to believe that's what it is. I'm angry about people using certain situations, like I saw them in Florida, talking about my mask. God gave us a reason to breathe without a mask. Yes, He did, but why does a doctor wear a mask when he's going to operate on you? He don't have to wear a mask. But if he don't have on a mask when he's about to operate on you, motherfuckers waking up from the anesthesia and say, like, yo, man, you better put your mask on. Like, that's the shit that I don't get. We understand that it helps prevent certain things, you know. As scalpel. Like, I just think, give me a scalpel. Let me see you get infected and get septic. Stupid shit, you know. Hey,
Are you?
and if people actually did better things with your
Okay, Doc.
so on your on your ass and
I'm trying to think of my top. You had a lot of my top five in there, but I'd say, you know, scary and I'm angry about is the reversal of like and then the future. Since I'm an immigrant, I think immigration laws and rights, it's just really weird with kids in cages and the graphics that we've seen. And another thing that's scary is this whole 1% with the Epstein. That's really scary and angry. Just want to.
you want to
Oh,
beat them and
let's
you
go.
want to beat them and drink vodka.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Bring it on.
My man Neil, what's up,
And
Neil?
then the other thing that's really scary is set a man's comments on here. We love you guys. Oh my
We love you
God.
guys, man.
Hold on. And the most exciting thing is that you guys are so scary that you guys have raised $71.42
Wow, I didn't realize
for
that.
the American
Yo,
Heart
man,
Association. That's
that's
scary.
amazing, guys. I
That is
appreciate that.
scary, and that is
I
awesome.
appreciate
So,
that. You know, and y'all know, y'all been that this goes straight to the American Heart Association. They keep hitting me up and like, yo, man, they love the work that I've been doing with them, what me and Kat been doing with them, and I appreciate that. And one of the reasons why we do the American Heart Association, not because I have a heart attack, but COVID-19, when it hits your respiratory system, that, and if your heart is weak, that's what it attacks to. And that's the hard thing. And that's why I think about that.
And we got another one. Thank you for
Oh,
whoever
we
that
got
was. 91.
Thank you, people.
All right. Anybody want to top it off to 100? Make it even. We love you.
Make it 100. Make it 100. But this is a thing that helps what we do as people. This is why I bring up those things about us being nervous and scared, because what happens when we have fear and we use it in the right way, we use anger in the right way, and use being scared in the right way, we find solutions to help people. That's what it's about, finding solutions. I think my biggest solution, people, is putting the kids back to school. And I got a lot of my sister's a teacher. I got friends that are principals. I got friends that are substitute. I got friends, that's doing all kinds of stuff, professors, and they're putting people back in their schools, want people to go back to school with no plan of how you're going to work this out. Then in the public schools, you got people running the public schools that don't know shit about nothing, just there because they just happen to be around. So the people that don't know anything, I'm sorry, I'm going to be cruel, y'all need to just get the fuck out of the way and let the people who do know something handle the business, that knows how to do implementation, and y'all need to just follow. I'm on this school shit hard body because these are the kids,
So that's almost our time. And our last question that we always close out with is the WTF of the week. So Keith, what was your WTF of the week? Do you got one?
I don't even know if I have a WTF.
I got one for you.
Go ahead.
All right. I had to go up north and travel. WTF, I've not driven my car for that long in a really long time. And it was so weird being in a different place. And then I got a COVID test after. And I mean, there was all kinds of stuff I don't even go into, but had to be up there and show up for my friends. So it was just really weird. I forgot how it was to drive for that long and that your foot hurts after. So yeah, I haven't driven for that long in a while. So not anything special besides all the WTFs on the news.
Yeah, I don't even listen. I don't even watch the news. But y'all,
I gotta keep up.
I gotta what the fuck moment. I don't know if y'all going to see this well. My motherfucking cat, it was so hot in the house. That motherfucker was like, I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
The legs are just like spread out wide.
Yo, you put on the AC.
Guy's just enjoying himself.
That motherfucker was out. She was out. Like, I'm just laying out, just stretching. I know that was stupid, y'all.
We love it. I love it. Thanks for the last. I know it's been a really serious conversation. And oh my God, we just topped 100. 120. Yo, guys, thanks so much. And we're going to be back next week. We're here every Wednesday. Tomorrow.
Man. Y'all, we love you guys, man.
Yeah,
this was so great, y'all. Y'all did this, man. I appreciate that.
Thank you for making it happen.
From the bottom of my heart, man. I don't know what to say. We probably maybe might have a gift bag or something.
That's a great idea.
I'll send you all a picture of my dumb ass cat that just don't do shit. but eat up my food.
Let's send everybody kitty food. Autographed by the one and only Keith Shockley. Catnip for everybody. So everybody tomorrow, Keith, you're going to be live on Twitch on Spectrum City
First,
Network.
Spectrum City Network.
That is, you are going live from what time to what time? Remind me.
6 to 8.
6 to 8. That's Eastern Standard Time, and you
Standard
do
Time.
a awesome visual and
Yeah,
audio
I'm working on my
set.
visual works. But I'm not going to do visuals on Thursdays. I like to keep my visuals for Saturday dance parties.
Yeah. So you guys tune in for
I'm
that.
gonna have something. I'm gonna have something a little cool for tomorrow.
All right. Can't wait to see.
All right.
So
hey,
good
people,
seeing you.
Once again, thank y'all for coming through. All my friends that came through, my superstars that popped through here. Like I love you guys. Y'all know where I'm at. Y'all know where Cat is at, and we appreciate this donation, man. I appreciate that really hard.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. And it's my friend Miss Barb. Hey Barb. And I got my homegirl Wild Bean. It's her birthday today.
Happy birthday.
I don't know. Wild Bean, happy birthday. Happy birthday, Wild Bean.
Woo! All right, guys, stay safe, wear your masks.
Yep, wear your mask.
And